The Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Baltimore Ravens. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First carry down for Jordan Howard. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10.
Watch you now, Barney!
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bears take over. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll try to run for the Howard. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. They go play action here on first down. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, Rudolph. Looking downfield for Jones. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears have taken the early lead. Now, this is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, here's Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. In for the score. And the Bears will extend their lead. Well, what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Jackson on second down. Got him in. It's Brashad Perriman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. Now Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll fake it. Now Rudolph. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jordan. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play there for the Bears on 3rd. 53 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Terrell Basham able to drop him for a loss of 4.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Rudolph now to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
No. Check. Patriot.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Jackson now. Escaping the pressure right. That is caught. It's Perriman. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Jackson on 1st down. He'll check this one off to Fournette. The 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defense.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Rudolph following the fumble recovery. On the crossing route, complete. It's Jordan. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. They go counter with Howard. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Detroit!
Here's Rudolph off play action. He's going to launch this thing into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it's a second down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when they clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Gun!
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Rudolph on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st and 10, Rudolph. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Detroit!
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Gun!
A final shot before the break, Rudolph. And that is going to be incomplete. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. This is intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but for stories.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Over!
Out of the gun, Rudolph. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. From the gun, here's Rudolph. Jones breaking from the contact. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jones. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. Back to throw, Rudolph. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Back to Rnfl, here we go!
And they are going for it. It's Rudolph. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Oh, the return, it's Tariq Cohen. Onto the field now come the Bears. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's Rudolph. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down.
Detroit!
Now Rudolph. Jones has it. That one goes for 24 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On first down, Rudolph. That is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Rudolph. And his throw's going to be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Rudolph going to throw again. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Rudolph. His throw caught right around the 6. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st and goal, Howard. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Ravens taking the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. A really good pickup of 28 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll make it a 2nd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Going to throw right side here, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Jackson on 1st down. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Jackson will throw again. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talking about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Rudolph now to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. If they needed a break, they needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they
rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Jackson from the shotgun. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to air one out. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense, great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down, and he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Rudolph following the fumble recovery. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 2nd down.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
Here's Rudolph. Wide open receiver complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Rudolph. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Detroit! Detroit!
Trying to punch it in with Howard. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears will add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is Are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the gun, Jackson eluding the pressure right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 16. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Terrell Basham in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. On 3rd down, that's Cohen. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. Rudolph looking to throw. And this is incomplete. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He may try and run for this. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 17. Jackson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. A good return there, 17 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just 1 kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now they will throw it here with Rudolph. And he comes back with 1 complete. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.